I got everything I need to kill a big buck. I got 2 arrows right here that says I can do it. They just happen to be the opposite gender. So
we're gonna make it happen. Gonna hunt the corn stand, see what's up.
So our opportunity hunting the cut cornfield kind of came and went. The farmers showed up, they disked the field under. All the corn that was, low-lying corn was gone, and the deer were also gone. That field kind of dried up, and so we decided to head back to a standing cornfield where we had previously had an encounter with a pretty nice kind of lopsided rack deer. And not to mention, it had just rained for like 3 days in a row. And so we hadn't been hunting at all, and that, right before last light, that morning, the rain had stopped. So just absolutely killer weather conditions for a morning hunt.
Stop, don't move. I'm on him. Are you on him? I'm on him, bro. He's dead. Dude, you just shot a half rack, yes. I just smoked a buck, and then it's this big half rack buck. He's a good deer, and whether he's 3 or 4, I'm not sure, but there's this really bad half rack gene that's been going around where these deers they'll grow one side of the rack and the other side will just be a spike or something like that. But dude, he's down like, probably 100 yards out in that corn. He's gone. I'm not on blood, I'm just like walking. Oh jeez. Is he heavy? Yeah. Yeah. Holy crap.
So there's a lot of things that we kind of took away from the 2018 season, and I just kind of want to jog through each of them real quickly, just so you have an idea of what we learned from our mistakes, and hopefully maybe it can help you as well. The first thing is just that if you see a buck do something, go move on him. Do something, because there's a high likelihood that he might be back there again and do the same thing, or another buck might come in and do the same thing. And I've seen this over and over and over. Move into the action if that's not where you're at. Number 2, grunting works. And we might sound stupid going out there and be like, yeah, like, yeah. I don't know if you noticed when we were grunting at that doe and then she grunted back at us. That was crazy cool. And I was kind of skeptical when John was starting to do all those guttural grunts until I heard that doe do the exact same thing. And she sounded just like him. After that, I was like, well, I guess you can grunt them in from your mouth, and it's just a lot of times they have to be able to hear you in order for it to work. Shoot your bow at long distances. If I would have been practicing out at 70, 80 yards like I do now, I would have killed that wacky rack buck the first time that I saw him. He was relaxed, he was feeding, he was giving us some great shot angles. It's just that when we saw that deer, I had only been practicing max out to 40 yards. So a 50-yard shot, that was not something I was comfortable taking, whereas now I would easily take a 50-yard shot if I had the time, the deer was relaxed, etc. You don't need a stupid heavy arrow to blow through deer. I was shooting micro diameter Victory Archery 400s with Rage 2-blade broadheads. I blew through 2 deer. I buried my arrow into the dirt on the other side, and it was because I had a really good tuned bow and I was shooting a fast setup. Now, I have had absolutely reverse results of that when I was shooting the same arrow with an expandable, but on a poorly tuned bow. My arrow was poorly tuned, and having an arrow that's tuned well it means everything when it comes to getting good penetration, especially when you're shooting those expandables, because they eat up a lot of energy. You cannot manage your deer herd in Michigan, or at least not where we're at in Michigan. Parcels are too small. Looking back and just listening to us talk about like, oh, a 3.5-year-old deer is too young. Well, as we've learned throughout the years, very few deer make it past the 3.5-year mark just because they get shot. This year, I think 3 of the 5 bucks that we were after that we had seen got shot. None of those were 4-year-olds. I think maybe one was a 4-year-old. A bunch of them hit the dirt. There's just so much pressure. There's so many people in the woods. There is a high likelihood if you see a good 3.5-year-old deer that he gets killed. And I guarantee you I could go to some of my neighbors' walls and find a lot of the deer that I had targeted over the years because they got shot. Not to mention the whole idea of cull buck, you know, like I think we're watching a lot of hunting TV shows and we're thinking that like things that work in other states must work for us. Well, the reality is that they don't. A large majority of the buck's genes that he gets to grow his racks passed on through the doe. So the health of your deer herd, the doe quantity, numbers, quality of the gene that's getting passed along, that's everything. And we just didn't really know any about that stuff. Thank you guys for watching. I believe this is probably the last of our throwback videos for this year, but we've got a lot more content coming your way, so I appreciate all of the encouraging words in the comment section. Hope you guys are having a great season, and we'll catch you in the next one.